Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Bahashem, Rakah HaKwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, teaching His word in truth and sincerity. I'm back with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh. And this lesson will be on the term Black Hebrew Israelite and how this is a misnomer, right? Because while I was at camp, some lady came up to me. She was a journalist, and she said, "Are you guys the Black Hebrew Israelites?" And I said, "No, we're just the Hebrew Israelites," right? Because when you say Black Hebrew Israelites, you have to understand the Hebrew Israelites consist of Hispanics and the Native Americans. So just to say Black Hebrew Israelite would be removing 10 of the tribes or 9 of the tribes from their heritage, from Israel. So we don't use those terms, Black Hebrew Israelites. And then the word black is a social construct that was created in around 16 to the 1700s. And so black is not a nationality. It's a skin color. And there's other nations of people that have the same skin color as we do, right? They have melanin in their skin. So we understand that those other nations that have melanin, they're still not our people. So this is why we make a distinction. We don't determine who you are based off your skin color, but it's by your nationality. We understand that you are who you are by the seed of your father. All right, so let me get that real quick. This is Numbers 1 and 18. It says, "And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls." Right, so it's showing you that Israelites are your nationality is determined by the house of your fathers. So it's not by your skin color. Skin color doesn't determine your nationality. Right, so that's one thing we have to understand when we're, when you say you're a Hebrew Israelite, or when people call us Black Hebrew Israelites, right? Black is not a nationality. So we also understand that Israelites have been spread into all different nations, and in these nations, Israelites had sex with the nations, right? So we know after a few generations, the phenotype, the way you look, it changes, right? So you're not looking at, you can't determine if somebody's an Israelite based off of their phenotype. Oh, he got to have big lips or a big nose, or he has to have, afro or woolly hair. No, that doesn't determine if you're Israelite or not, because the mother's genes can affect the outward appearance of a man, of an Israelite, right? So how do we tell who we are? It's by the Spirit, right? It's by the Spirit that we can tell if you're an Israelite or not, if you can adhere to this word, and if the word resonates with you, right? If the word resonates with you, then we can tell that you're an Israelite, right? Because this word is not going to resonate with anybody else but the Hebrew Israelites, right? And we understand that we're going to look like all nations of people. We're not going to just look like the typical, like the brothers say, John Shaft, the typical Hispanic or Native American, but you can look like a Asian, an Arab. You can look like these different nations, a Hamite, right? You can look like all these different nations and still be an Israelite. All right, so let's get to Jeremiah. I'll read 12 and 9. This is Jeremiah 12 and 9. It says, "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds are around about her, birds are around about or against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour." Let me read that one more time. "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird." All right, so a speckled bird has a range of different colors from brown to dark brown to white, right, or light brown. It says, "The birds round about or against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come devour." Right, so this is showing you that the Israelites, they're gonna come in different shades, man. They're not gonna just come in one shade. They're gonna come in different shades. So to say Black Hebrew Israelite, it would be a misnomer. It would be incorrect, right? So that's one thing we do have to, or these people do have to understand, which they're gonna keep on saying that because it's really the way to mock us. the black Hebrew Israelites. The black. The black is has a negative connotation. That's why they use it, because they want to make it seem like we're really not the Hebrew Israelites. We're just a black version of the Hebrews, right? We're just a black version, or we're just the negative, um, the negative race of people that claim that they're Hebrew Israelites. You know, so like I said, the way we know you're an Israelite is through the Spirit, right? So let's go to Romans 8:16, right? This is Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God, right? So, the Spirit is going to bear witness with our spirit. So, if a person, he can resonate with the word, and you tell him about the word, and he understands it, that brother's an Israelite, no matter how he might look on the outside, right? That's why the scriptures tell us, to try the spirits, see how his spirit resonates with his word when you give it to him. Right? Actually, we're gonna get that, right? This is John 4:1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are going out in the world. Right. So this is pertaining to false prophets, but it's also pertaining to people when they come up and they ask certain questions. See if their spirit resonates with the word, and see if they can understand it. Right. If they can't understand it, then there's no more you can really do, whether they're Israelite or they're heathen. Right. Because we know the Lord is going to sort that out at the end. But our job is to preach the word and see if the bait, the word hooks them in, and draws them in. Because we understand that spirit is going to draw the Israelites in. It's not going to be flyers. It's not going to be, people trying to get people into the camp so they can have numbers. Because a lot of Israelite camps, they do that for numbers. So they just, they want anybody to join, or all people to join. Christians don't want all people to join their congregation. Israelites, they might just be more so on Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and then anybody else that don't look like them, they might not let you join, right? But hey, if you look like a so-called white man, but you can resonate with the spirit of the word, hey, we're gonna say, hey, that brother's an Israelite, right? Because only an Israelite is gonna really be interested in the true word of Yahweh Bashim Mashai. The other nations are not gonna want to get into it, right? They don't fear Yahweh Bashim Mashai, so therefore they can't be they can't have the spirit to want to learn the true doctrine of the Lord, right? And their spirits would be adverse to the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Shai, right? The true word, right? So, like we're saying, try the spirits by the spirits, whether they be of the Most High. See if they can resonate with them, right? And if it can, most likely that person's an Israelite, right? The Spirit bears witness with our spirit that we're the children of the Most High. So their spirit's going to bear witness with the spirit that's in that book, right? They're going to be able to listen to it and adhere to it and follow it the right way, right? That's an Israelite. Though his parents may look like, or he may look like a heathen. Even his parents might look like heathens. But down the line, his parents are going to go back to one of the 12 tribes, right? It's another scripture that I like to bring up, because we know the Spirit is really going to gather the Israelites. It's not really passing out flyers, right? It's not really just recruiting people to try to get numbers. But we understand the Spirit is going to gather the Israelites in the last days, and they're going to come to the truth. You're not going to need any coercion, or I want to say coercion, but any type of flyers, or things that try to bring people into the truth. It's not going to be done like that. It doesn't have to be done like that. That's how certain people are just doing that just to get members. So this is Isaiah 34:16. It says, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. None one of these shall fail. None shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them." Right. So the Spirit is going to gather the Israelites in the last days. Right. Not going on these different podcasts and talking to these different heathens, or talking to these different people on these different platforms to try to disguise your motive of wanting followers. Or we're just trying to spread the words of the Most High. No, you're trying to get followers, and you're trying to guise it by using certain scriptures to to justify going out on these different platforms. You really want followers. You really want members. You really want self-glorification. That's why you're really going out there and doing these things. But we understand the Spirit is going to gather the true elect members of Yahweh Shem Shai. We always say it's only for the elect. It's not for all people and it's not for all people. It's not for everybody, even in Israel. It's only for the elect of the house of Israel. So a person that's using that excuse, he's just trying to get self-glorification, and he's going to be found out at the end, right? So I just wanted to do a quick lesson on that misnomer that these people use, which they're going to still use it. We're not saying they're not going to use it anymore, but it's just good to do a lesson just to, break that misconception down so people can understand. We're not the black Hebrew Israelites. We're just the Hebrew Israelites. You can say Israelites, right? And the Israelites are going to be all different shades. They're going to look like all different people, but they're going to, in fact, go back to one of the 12 sons of Jacob. So with that, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash. Until next time, Lord willingly, Shalom.